Police put a stop to a spree of vehicle break-ins.
And a White County town celebrates a birthday. Your HU16 News starts right now.
From the campus of Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas, this is HU16 News, live at 5.
Welcome to HU16 Live at 5. I'm Dylan Johnston.
And I'm Grace Nichols. 4 people are facing charges for breaking into a car in Searcy. Police responded to suspicious activity report Tuesday in the Rebecca Lane area. Searcy Police Chief Steve Hernandez says that after speaking to several people in the area, it was apparent that they were in the process of breaking into several cars. Police say that the 4 charged are responsible for around 40 other vehicle break-ins. And Central Arkansas is looking to secure additional water for future generations. Central Arkansas Water recently acquired the largest water storage agreement ever in the state and now owns up to 100 million gallons a day of water from DeGray Lake. CAW Chief Executive Officer Tad Bohannon hopes that this water source will provide a viable source for plenty of future generations. The CAW is the largest water supplier in Arkansas and serves more than 450,000 people in 7 counties.
New internet taxes might be coming to Arkansas. A new bill is headed to the House floor to try and collect internet sales tax for out-of-state sellers. This bill would help reduce the state's top corporate tax income rate. Although the bill failed in committee, the lawmakers are optimistic as it makes its way to the House. And Walmart is looking to make ordering groceries more convenient. The retail supergiant has partnered with Google and will allow shoppers to order their groceries through Google's smart home assistant devices. This partnership hopes to challenge Amazon's growing dominance in the online retail industry. Amazon's Echo device makes up 63% of smartphone speaker users in the U.S., while the Google Home makes up 31% of that market.
Arkansas House Bill 1778 failed in the House today. The bill would have increased penalties for animal abusers, amending Act 33, which was passed a decade ago. Specifically, the consequences for cruelty would have been most harsh pertaining to cats and dogs. Representative Jim Sorvillo said that the state has been known to turn a blind eye to animal abuse in the past. And one school district is increasing its safety measures. Prescott Superintendent Robert Poole said additional safety measures such as a new phone application for students and parents to report concerns are on the way. The new safety measures come after a 14-year-old student was shot in the chest by a classmate. Poole says the district is also considering adding more resource officers and reinforced doors to some school buildings.
Transportation officials are releasing details of the Ethiopian Airlines flight that crashed only minutes after takeoff last month. And it doesn't look good for Boeing and its 737 MAX jumbo jets. Investigators say the pilots were fighting the plane's automated systems right from the start, and they followed Boeing's recommended emergency procedure before the aircraft crashed and killed everyone on board. Mary Maloney has more.
Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 was almost doomed from the start. According to the preliminary crash report, the crew recognized the warnings and followed the emergency procedures recommended by Boeing to keep the plane flying.
Let's not forget, there are human beings in the cockpit. You don't just simply trigger to a conclusion. It takes time to process.
But the Boeing 737 MAX 8 automated systems overwhelmed the pilot's manual maneuvers. After a terrifying 6-minute ride shooting up and plummeting down, the plane crashed, killing all souls on board. The tragedy, according to investigators, mirrored what happened less than 6 months earlier when Lion Air, operating the same model plane, fell from the sky. The 2 disasters killed more than 300 people.
This should not happen to anyone again. That's why we're here.
The family of one passenger, 24-year-old Samuel Stumo, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against several entities, including Boeing.
The potential of my sister and 156 others driven straight into the ground because of Boeing's greed.
Boeing is working on a change to the system's software, but some pilots say they want to go through comprehensive training before they feel comfortable flying the grounded planes.
Our profession's calling is to protect our passengers. We're the last line of defense.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Today, Boeing CEO released a statement saying he recognizes the magnitude of the preliminary findings and acknowledges that the software was faulty. But he also said any airline disaster comes with a chain of events that cannot always be anticipated. Regardless, he says the company takes safety very seriously and will work to eliminate the risk of its crashes. And one White County advocacy group is looking for your help. The proudly pro-life group of White County will be having an event to help support the reversal of abortions in the community. The group's leader, Joanne Bearden, says that the event will basically educate people about abortion and its alternatives. The event will be held on Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Arkansas State University Searcy campus.
New standards for mental health care are coming to Arkansas. Governor Asa Hutchinson signed a bill earlier today that sets the standard for mental health care of the hearing impaired. The bill establishes a deaf service coordinator to help monitor access to mental health care across the state, and also creates an advisory committee to make recommendations on issues facing the deaf community. The law will go into effect 90 days after the legislative session ends. And new legislations for DACA recipients could be coming to Arkansas. In the past, many DACA recipients have been denied the opportunity to get a nursing license in Arkansas. State Representative Megan Godfrey introduced a new bill in the Senate this week that would grant and allow DACA recipients to possess a nurse's license with the proper training. The bill passed the House and the Senate Public Health Committee this week, now moving on to the Senate floor for a final vote.
In-state tuition may soon be offered to more students. The Arkansas Senate voted to extend in-state tuition rates at state colleges and universities to some immigrant students. If the student has lived in the state at least 3 years prior to admission and has a high school diploma from the state, they will be offered in-state tuition. The bill now heads back to the House. And a new nationwide online scam is targeting college students. The nationwide scam is attracting college students by claiming they will forgive all student debt in exchange for personal information. The Better Business Bureau of Arkansas warns people to think before you click. Don't share information and stay calm. To report scams or suspicious activity, contact the U.S. Department of Education.
More than 100 students in Cabot were given a surprise Wednesday morning. After being called out of the class, the students were handed envelopes by the Cabot Panther Foundation, which contain varying amounts of money for future college tuition. This year's scholarship total from the foundation reached $127,400. According to the foundation members, this year's total is the highest since the foundation began in 1992. And a White County town is celebrating a big birthday, but the main event might have to wait. Beebe is celebrating its 144th birthday next week, but the mural that is to be unveiled might not be ready. The mural has been delayed multiple times due to weather, but the city says the celebration will go on with or without it. The celebration will begin on Saturday, April 13th at 1 p.m. And later in the show, several students at the University of Texas El Paso are concerned they soon may be stranded on campus.
But first, let's send it over to Trey Tonneson with a quick look at weather.
The story today has been rain, rain, go away, but will it? Find out after the break.
The first time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality.
Hey, how you doing today?
So I thought, we're definitely gonna be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
You know I got it too. All I'm asking is for literacy.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to have my seat?
R-E-S-P-C-T. Find out what it means to me.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I already knew that I was gonna go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
Our son Arjun was born with cystic fibrosis. CF is a genetic disease that shortens lives. The CF Foundation has made amazing progress, but until a cure is found for all people with CF, we will not stop. Help us add tomorrows. Visit cff.org today.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand!
Ah, there you go. Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Good evening and welcome back to HU16 Live at 5. Right now here in Searcy, about 60 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, humidity sits around 86%. It's been raining off and on all day, but across the state, about up in Fayetteville, it's about 61 degrees, Little Rock around 32, and across the state, it's still raining in most places, but as you look onto tonight, about 52 degrees, showers are going to continue, and on into patchy fog, about 90% chance of the showers continuing into the morning, and on into your morning, the temperature is going to rise to about 60. As you move into around noon, it's going to be about 66 degrees and up into 70 as you move through your afternoon hours, specifically up to about 4 p.m., 73 degrees. And the severe risk tonight is going to be slight to marginal, with most of the risk down in Louisiana and slightly up into southern portions of the state. Far southern portions, not really going to affect us here in Searcy, as we are at a little bit of an increased risk for severe weather. The hail risk follows that, just slightly increased down below us, down in the south. As far as the wind is concerned, it's the same. But tomorrow is going to be around 73 degrees, patchy fog and mostly sunny skies. There's a lot going on the surface map. Over to our west, you can see in Texas, a little bit of yellow in that polygon is where the severe potential is coming from. But most of the rain is going to move off to our south following this high pressure system, and it's up to our north and low pressure system that's moving off to our south and to the east. But tomorrow, the severe risk rather is going to be mostly in western Texas, with a slight risk over in the Austin area. But we're going to be in the clear. But as we move into Saturday, this portion of severe weather is going to increase following the high pressure system that's going to move into the state, leaving us at a little bit of an increased risk of severe weather moving on into your weekend. The highs on Saturday are going to be back in the 70s, around 75 here in Searcy, and Little Rock about 75 as well. Jonesboro around 77 degrees. But as we take a look at your 5-day forecast, Saturday, the chance of storms sits at 50%. Keep in mind those storms could be severe as they are moving out of Texas, mostly western Texas, up through Austin. The skies on Saturday are going to sit around, once again, they're going to be pretty clear, and the temperature is going to sit around 75. Sunday, 76 with a low of 58. Monday, the storm system is going to remain in the state, 70% chance of that continuation. And Tuesday, the storms are going to move out, leaving you with sunny skies, clear 78 degrees, low of 55. So overall, your weekend is going to be pretty rainy. That's going to move out, leaving you with a pretty clear week next week. That's all we have here at the weather desk. We're sending it back to the desk with Grace and Dylan.
Thanks, Trey. Well, after the break, 2 celebrities are appearing in court to testify on their part in the largest college admission scandal in history.
Catch the story after the break.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Hey, let's check out this park. looks really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Attention travelers. Next Tuesday, a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Water, phone, and internet service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Many students who attend colleges near the border cross an international bridge every day for classes. But some are getting ready for the possibility they'll be trapped on one side or the other if President Trump closes the border. Cesar Vasquez has the story.
Either way that it goes, basically half of my life would be disappearing.
Traveling through and from Ciudad Juarez is the normal for many Borderlands students like Estefania Castillo. With immigration one of the most controversial issues in the nation, she's already seen the impact in her commute.
Even I have the express line, it's still like an hour, which it shouldn't be. It should be really fast.
She could be one of many students who will either be locked in or out of UTEP should President Trump decide to close the international bridges, creating an obstacle to either getting home or to class.
Obviously miss a lecture, miss class, miss discussion, so you miss a big chunk of information.
UTEP is getting ready for the possible border halt, providing temporary housing and a food pantry if students aren't able to return to their homes in Juarez.
And I wouldn't be able to go and visit my parents in Juarez.
But for now, students like Estefania are asked to plan ahead in case the president shuts down the pathways many rely on.
Fortunately, have someone that I can stay with because I know it's not a lot of room and there's a lot of us that cross daily. And if I get stuck in Juarez, well, I've been communicating with my professors. They all understand what's going on. Even my boss knows what's going on. So we're just going to work it out as it goes.
Customs and Border Patrol said 750 officers are being redirected to help with processing migrants.
Two of the best-known faces at the center of a massive college admissions cheating scheme had their first day in court yesterday. Actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman faced a judge in Boston over charges that could land them in jail. Bryn Gringras has more details.
They've become the faces of the largest college admissions scheme ever uncovered in the United States. Felicity Huffman, Lori Loughlin walked into a Boston courthouse, each facing a federal fraud charge. Loughlin smiling and greeting onlookers on her way in, much like how she was seen taking pictures with fans and signing autographs after arriving in Boston Tuesday. A law enforcement official says prosecutors will ask for 6 months to nearly 2 years in prison for the actresses and the dozens of other parents accused in the scam. Neither actress has publicly addressed the allegations against them, and it was no different in court. Loughlin and Huffman said only a few words, their attorneys doing most of the talking. Neither actress had to enter a plea. The government says it has emails and phone recordings to prove Loughlin and her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, paid $500,000 in bribe money to get their daughters into USC as crew recruits, even though neither girl rode.
I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school.
Since the scandal broke, Loughlin's daughter, YouTube star Olivia Jade, has been dropped from partnerships with major companies.
I know.
Loughlin has also lost acting jobs. Huffman allegedly paid $15,000 to alter one of her daughter's test scores. Court documents show she and her husband, actor William H. Macy, considered doing the same for their younger daughter, but never went through with the plan. Macy is not charged in the case.
The charges against you?
The scheme's mastermind, Rick Singer, pleaded guilty last month and continues to cooperate with the ongoing investigation. The government says it wiretapped Singer for months and has more evidence in this case. More than 30 other parents have been charged in the scam, and one law enforcement source tells CNN as many as 10 parents may strike deals with the government. No one has yet. A recent court filing shows, though, one parent intends to plead guilty by the end of this month.
A law enforcement official said last week more arrests and charges are expected. Meantime, we saw a lot of rain today, but will that continue into the weekend? Baseball series. Let's send it over to Jack Allen with a quick look at sports.
Well, thanks, Grace. The weather is only one thing for Harding teams to worry about heading into this weekend. We talk about all that after the break.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
You guys, it's now time for the results of the homecoming queen election. The second attendant is Denise Willard. The first attendant is Katie Higgins. And now, your homecoming queen is... Hey, here we go. Becca Weininger.
True beauty. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Well, you can blame it on the rain. Welcome back to HU16 Live at 5. I'm Jack Allen. After a wet day today, more rain is in the forecast for the weekend. And with that, there's a change to this weekend's baseball schedule. Instead of a doubleheader on Saturday, doubleheader is now going to be tomorrow. Games scheduled for 4 and 7 p.m. in a big conference battle with Southwestern Oklahoma State at Jerry Moore Field. And after a big weekend in Magnolia, one Harding athlete is now being celebrated as the GAC Player of the Week. Liz Fouts broke her own school record in the discus throw and wound up winning the event. Her throw of 46.22 meters was good enough to move her to 13th in the nation. She followed that up with top 5 finishes in shot put and hammer throw. The Lady Bisons compete again at Rhodes this weekend. And Harding Tennis was also in Magnolia on Tuesday, hoping to assert their dominance in what's become a wide-open race for the GAC. The Lady Bisons entered play ranked 23rd, SAU only 3 spots behind in 26th. Now Harding struggled through the match, falling 4-2. Team leaders Riley Cox and Arisa Takanashi opened singles play for the Lady Bisons with 2 wins, but the rest of the team struggled, dropping 3 singles matches and the doubles point. Now Harding falls to 2-1 in the conference. Harding's men, also favored in their matchup against SAU, also upset. The Bison's top 2 singles players both lost matches they thought they would win. Alejandro Sendra and Arthur Bellon fell in 3 sets, and Harding, well, they just couldn't recover. They fall to 0-2 in conference play after being the favorites to start the season. And with those losses, Harding loses ground in the latest ITA polls. The Lady Bisons fall to 27th nationally. That's 4th in the Central Region. Riley Cox currently ranked 33rd individually in D2 and 11th in the region. And the men a little bit further down in the rankings. Harding ranked 37th. Now none of its top players are ranked in the top 50 of Division II. And now for the coolest thing I saw, we take you south of the border, way south, all the way down to Peru. Olympian Usain Bolt in a heated race with a motocab. Bolt making it look easy. To be fair, it was pretty easy. That motocab out there looking like me on a Monday, struggling to get moving. The world's fastest man beats the world's probably lamest car. What? It's a slow sports day, okay? Anyway, that's all we have here for sports. We're going to send it back to the desk with Grace and Dylan.
Thanks, Jack. After the break, an inside look at the Final Four before the big games this weekend.
Keep it here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, at these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Can you feel the sun?
The road to Minneapolis is now complete. The final 4 teams in the NCAA men's tournament have arrived in the Twin Cities. Jennifer Mayoral has an inside look at the Final Four and what it means to the loyal fans of each school.
Hotels around downtown are full of fanfare. You can tell the Final Four teams have arrived in Minneapolis. Cheers and chants of "Go Green" greeted the Spartans to town. Michigan State faithful made the trek in hopes of seeing their team go all the way.
When you're root for Michigan State basketball, you go wherever they are when it comes tournament time, and to get back to the Final Four is really awesome.
Texas Tech was the first to touch down in the Twin Cities. A band along with a path to their first Final Four welcomed the players.
And then when you see it, when you start watching the national shows and you see Texas Tech as one of the 4 names up there, it makes you swell with pride because our fans have been so great and so loyal through the years.
Auburn arrived and made its team hotel Tigers territory. Players will surely hear chants of "War Eagle" as the team also makes its debut in the Final Four. Right on pace, Virginia Cavaliers community hooped and hollered for the only #1 seed to make it to Minneapolis. They've waited for another Final Four appearance for 35 years.
It's like celebrities, right? How cool was that? They're so big, they're so awesome, so humble. Just love them. It was really cool.
Now our HU16 tournament challenge is coming to an end as well.
Our director Jordan and producer Aaron are the top 2. 3 others are tied for 3rd, and Grace finds herself at the bottom of the pack.
You know, unfortunately this is true. I don't have the most sports knowledge, but our sports anchor Jack, who you just saw before, is only 1 spot ahead of me, so I think it's okay. We're both not doing too well.
All right.
Let's go take one more look at our final weather.
Well, the weather today has been quite wet, but over the next few hours that should dissipate. And as you look at your 5-day forecast on into the weekend, that should wrap up as far as Sunday night, and the rest of your week after that will be great. That's all we have here at the weather desk. Let's send it back to the desk with Grace and Dylan one last time.
Thank you for joining us for HU16's Live at 5, where community matters.
Stay tuned for a replay of this morning's chapel, and remember, you can always tune into HU16 at streaming.harding.edu and click at the news link on top to see the Live at 5 news page. Have a great evening.